Hi everyone, I'm Khyati, your IELTS trainer, and you're watching IELTS Perfectionist. Through this channel, I will guide you about all the necessary information that will help you crack your IELTS exam in a go. So please subscribe my channel to achieve your desired band score. In today's video, I will be highlighting on IELTS essential information for candidates. Beginning with IELTS Introduction, its recognition, test format, details about different modules, test charges, how to apply, and other important facts. So without further ado, let's begin. What is IELTS? The International English Language Testing System is designed to assess the language ability of people who want to study, work, or migrate to country where English is primary language of communication. IELTS is jointly owned by the British Council, IDP IELTS Australia, and Cambridge Assessment English. Let's talk about its recognition. IELTS is recognized and accepted by over 10,000 organizations worldwide, including universities, employers, professional bodies, immigration authorities, and other government agencies. For a list of organizations that accept IELTS scores, you can visit www.ielts.org/recognition. Now there are two modules to choose from: academic and general training. IELTS Academic is for test takers wishing to study at undergraduate or postgraduate levels and for those seeking professional registration. On the other hand, IELTS General Training is for test takers wishing to migrate to an English-speaking country such as Australia, Canada, New Zealand, UK, and for those wishing to train or study at below degree level. Now there are two modes of IELTS test, paper-based or computer-delivered. Which is better for you? First, I'll talk about IELTS on paper. If you select this option, you will answer the listening, reading, and writing sections on a paper. The speaking test is carried out face-to-face with a trained IELTS examiner. On the other hand, if you select the option of IELTS on computer, you will take the listening, reading, and writing sections on a computer, and you need to type your answers using a keyboard and a mouse. The speaking test will remain face-to-face with a trained IELTS examiner, as it is the most effective way of assessing your speaking skills. In case of listening module, paper-based test is for 30 minutes with additional 10 minutes to transfer your answers to answer sheet, whereas if you appear for computer delivered, you will only get 30 minutes without any extra time to transfer your answers. Now, one fact you all must know: the waiting time for result declaration in computer delivered test is less in comparison to the paper-based test. While the test report form for a paper-based test takes around 13 days, for a computer-delivered test, the IELTS result gets released around 5 to 7 days. The listening, reading, and writing test must be completed on the same day. There are no breaks between these three tests. The speaking test may be taken up to 7 days before or after the other three tests. IELTS is designed to assess English language skills across a wide range of levels. There is no such thing as a pass or fail in IELTS. Results are reported as band scores on a scale from 1 being the lowest to 9 being the highest. IELTS is based on 4 language skills: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Beginning with listening module. The test duration is for 30 minutes plus 10 minutes transfer time so that you can transfer your answers from question paper to answer sheet. There are 40 questions and you get 1 mark for one question. The best part is there is no negative marking in IELTS listening test, so you must attempt all questions. There are 4 sections, and as you proceed, level of test gets difficult. Section 1 is a conversation between two people set in an everyday social context. For example, a conversation in an accommodation agency. Section 2 is a monologue set in an everyday social context. For example, a speech about local facilities or a talk about the arrangement for meals during a conference. Section 3 is a conversation between up to 4 people set in an educational or training context. For example, a university tutor and a student discussing an assignment, or a group of students planning a research project. Section 4 is a monologue on an academic subject. For example, a university lecture. Now this is the IELTS listening band score calculator. Each correct answer receives 1 mark. For example, if you want to score 8 bands in listening, then you must have at least 35 correct answers, and so on. Now coming up to the second module. Reading module is different for academic and general test. The test duration is 60 minutes and there is no extra transfer time, which means you have to directly write your answers on the answer sheet. There are 3 sections containing 40 questions. Each section contains one long text. The content is based on academic topics of general interest. Text may contain non-verbal materials such as diagrams, graphs, or illustrations. On the other hand, general training reading also consists of 3 sections with 40 questions. Section 1. It contains 2 or 3 short factual text, one of which may be composite, consisting of 6 to 8 short texts related by topic, for example, hotel advertisements. Topics are relevant to everyday life in an English-speaking country. Section 2. It contains 2 short factual texts focusing on work-related issues. For example, applying for jobs, company policies, pay and conditions, workplace facilities, staff development and training. Section 3. It contains one longer, more complex text on a general topic. This is the band score calculator for IELTS academic reading, followed by the general reading test. Now, the third module which I am going to talk about is the writing module. Like reading, writing module is also different for academic and general training test. Test duration is of 60 minutes and you have to complete 2 tasks. You are required to write at least 150 words for task 1 and at least 250 words for task 2. Academic writing. In task 1, you are presented with a graph, table, chart, or a diagram and are asked to describe, summarize, or explain the information in your own words. You may be asked to describe and explain data, describe the stages of a process, how something works, or describe an object or event. In task 2, you are asked to write an essay in response to a point of view, argument, or a problem. Responses to task 1 and task 2 should be written in an academic, semi-formal, or a neutral style. Coming up to general training writing. In task 1, you are presented with a situation and are asked to write a letter requesting information or explaining the situation. The letter may be personal, semi-formal, or formal in style. In task 2, you are asked to write an essay in response to a point of view, argument, or a problem. The essay can be slightly more personal in style than the academic writing task 2 essay. Topics are of general interest. The last module is speaking, which is same for both academic and general training test. The test duration ranges between 11 to 14 minutes. There are 3 parts. Part 1. Introduction and interview. It is conducted for 4 to 5 minutes. The examiner introduces him or herself and asks you to introduce yourself and confirm your identity. The examiner asks you general questions on familiar topics, for example, home, family, work, studies, or interest. Part 2. Individual long turn. The time duration for part 2 is approximately 3 to 4 minutes. The examiner gives you a task card, also known as a cue card, and asks you to talk about a particular topic and which includes points you can cover in your talk. You are given 1 minute to prepare your talk and are given a pencil and paper to make some notes. You are supposed to talk for 1 to 2 minutes on the topic. Same will be recorded. Part 3. Two-way discussion. Last part goes on for 4 to 5 minutes. The examiner asks further questions which are connected to the topic of part 2. In this part, the examiner expects you to give a detailed and elaborative answers. Now here are some important facts about IELTS. IELTS is conducted 4 times a month and usually held on Thursdays and Saturdays. The IELTS test fee in India is 14,700 Indian rupees for both computer delivered and paper based test. Anyone who is 16 years old or above with a valid passport can apply for IELTS test. Your test report forms will be valid for 2 years since the result posting. Finally, I will explain you how to apply for your IELTS test. There are two websites which you can use to book your test. These are listed down: www.ieltsidpindia.com, www.britishcouncil.in/exam/IELTS. Now, most of the candidates feel that booking through IDP is preferable because IELTS administered through IDP would be much easier, whereas other candidates feel that IELTS through British Council would be simple. However, there is no difference between the IELTS through British Council or IDP, so you can choose any one of them. Registration for your IELTS test is quick and easy. Step 1. Find your nearest IELTS test location. With more than 1600 IELTS test locations in over 140 countries, there is bound to be one near you. Step 2. Register for your IELTS test. You just need to select the test mode, that is, computer delivered or paper based test, followed by your preferable location. Thereafter, select a date according to the module you want to appear, that is academic or general training. Don't forget to provide a copy of your valid identity document. You will also need to present the same identity document on the day of the test. Now, you will be guided through a payment gateway, and finally you can pay online through debit or credit card or net banking to book your IELTS test. Make sure your card is valid for international transaction. Once your application has been processed, your test center will send you a written confirmation of the date and time of your test through email. The speaking test, however, can be completed up to a week before or after the other test. Hope you are now familiar with important information related to IELTS. If you found this video informative and want to hear from me again regarding best tips and tricks to achieve your desired band score in IELTS, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like, share and comment. I will be back soon with more videos. Till then, keep watching IELTS Perfectionist.